Hey, so today I'm going to talk to you about chicken and rice. If you're bored with leftovers and eating the same old bland thing, this video is for you. So make sure you stay tuned and check this thing out. Hey, I'm Randy Hartz with Complete Fitness, where we help busy men and women in the Sioux Falls area gain energy, drop fat, get stronger, and add more life to your years. So we all love going to places like Qdoba and Chipotle and the various places like that. Most of the time we end up getting chicken and rice, but for some reason, when we eat it at home, and if you followed the last video that I did, I talked about doubling and tripling your portion sizes. So instead of having to meal prep all day on Sunday, you can simply cook more chicken and steak and different things, that fish, whatever it is that you eat, and just double and triple those portions. But here's the deal, you've got leftovers sitting around, right? So we've got some rice here, we've got some chicken here, and just like Qdoba, we can take and put those things together and make our very own rice bowls. But obviously we get sick of doing that day in and day out. So here's some things that you can add, some different spices and so forth that I add to my chicken and rice to basically keep things fresh, because I can't imagine just eating plain old chicken and rice day in and day out. I would go crazy, and I'd definitely not stick with it. So let's start from kind of the top down. So we've got various seasonings here, and these are just things that I randomly pulled out of our cupboard. This is a Cajun seasoning. A lot of people say, okay, there's a lot of sodium in that. Well, yes and no. I mean, there's a fair amount in there, but as long as you don't have like blood pressure problems, you're keeping your water intake up, it shouldn't be a big deal. And we're not talking about dousing this stuff. Just kind of sprinkle it over the top, stir it in there, and it'll give you some seasoning. So there's the Cajun. This one is Mediterranean, a seasoned salt. This one is the good old standby Lowry's. I know when I was a competitive bodybuilder many moons ago, I lived and breathed with Lowry's. I love this seasoned salt. And you can go out and find the no salt versions as well. There's a lot of different variations out there. So that's kind of the start of it, is the seasoned salt. Now, if you want to have kind of a Chinese blend, grab your light soy sauce, sprinkle some of this on there, stir that up in there, and you've got kind of Chinese meal. We've got teriyaki sauce. Here's another great flavoring. Pour that in there, stir it around. One of my old standbys is salsa. Salsa hardly has any calories in there. A great flavoring again. So if you want kind of a Mexican type feel with the chicken and rice, add the salsa in here. Now, these last two ones here, use these sparingly, because they're going to be higher in sugars. But again, don't do them every single day. I absolutely love barbecue sauce. So again, this is Sweet Baby Ray's. There's a lot of variations. Again, watch the sugar content, watch how much you put in there, but pour a little of that in there, stir it up, heat it up in the microwave, and you've got barbecue chicken and rice. And then the last one is just using good old plain old ragu spaghetti sauce. So, this is a pasta sauce. Again, it's higher in sugar, so be sparingly with some of that stuff. But again, this takes and puts a new spin on eating chicken and rice. So again, instead of eating the plain old bland stuff day in and day out, add some of those seasonings in there, and it's just a quick tip. Ideally, throw maybe a few vegetables in on top of it just to get some of your veggies in, which is great for health and so forth. But again, it doesn't have to be bland and boring, right? You can add seasonings and spices and things, and a lot of times people don't really realize that they can do it. Now, if I could have figured out a way to get peanut butter into my chicken and rice, it would have made it all the better. But that sounds kind of gross, even though peanut butter is one of my favorite foods or condiments, or whatever you want to call it. But hopefully that tip added value to you. Again, don't sit around and just eat the chicken and rice plain. I've got a meal prep guide. I will post a link below this video in that will also help you with some quick tips on prepping your meals throughout the week. So if you found value from this, give us a thumbs up or a like button, and we will see you in the gym.